Roxstars, it's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for Love and Hip Hop New York, Season 10, Episode 9. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So the show starts where it left off last week, which was with Tahirah blowing a gasket at Erica's party. Everybody was just like, what the fuck is wrong with her? You know, Erica, I know when something has really bothered Tahirah, she's usually one that doesn't let things get to her, okay? So it's got to be something really wrong here. I was really annoyed with how Jonathan just really feels like he has to speak for Sin. If she feels like, you know, she has to say something, you know, and doesn't want people to think that her and Joe are trying to get together or whatever he said, you know, she needs to say that to you. And Sin was like, she's a grown-ass woman. She ain't really got to say nothing. But, you know, she just wasn't really making any sense. So nobody really knows what exactly was Tahirah's problem. Erica comes over there and says, you know, I invited everybody here, but I didn't know all this was going to go down. So she feels bad. You didn't know that you were going to have enemies, okay? One vying for the other's baby daddy. Not vying, but you know what I mean. And you didn't think that there was going to be some friction. And then you got loudmouth Jonathan. Girl, please. Anyway, later on, Erica has Tahirah over to the house. And she was just like, you know, I just needed to talk to you. You weren't answering your phone. You know, Tahirah was like, she just didn't really feel like it. Okay, she was mad about Jonathan and him being all up in the business and getting all that shit and ruckus started at the party. And Erica was like, okay, well, I mean, I got all of that, but that's still not a reason for you to really be mad like that. Like, what else is going on? That's when Tahirah tells her that they found something in her breast and that she has to go, you know, for a mammogram, has to go to a breast specialist. And what if this is cancer? You know. I've been in the same shoes. It's scary, especially when you've had so many people, you know, and people that you love dearly die from breast cancer. So it is a scary feeling. The minute they tell you, oh, we need you to come back in, you know, your mind just automatically goes to the worst. So I feel for Tahirah. I know that that's not a good feeling. So Erica tells her that she'll go with her to, you know, get her breast checked. So they go to the doctor. And, you know, Tahirah says she's nervous, but she's got to do what she's got to do. So she's there. Okay, Erica tells her, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. But Erica knows that it can be stressful. She's just went through the same thing with her father. And her father died from cancer. So, again, it's, you know, I'm sure everybody's stomach was butterfly filled. So she does the mammogram. I was laughing at how awkward you are when you getting, you know, your boob, especially if you don't have really big boobs, and then you got to be all like, have all your arm all on top of the thing, you know, so you could tell that she was really trying to get, you know, they tell you don't move, but then they put you in this old weird ass position. But afterwards, the doctor comes in there and tells her that they did see something that was consistent with, I guess, the ultrasound. So now they want to take a biopsy. And that would make me even more afraid. I was expecting the doctor to come in there and just say, oh, it's nothing serious. But they're like, we're just going to stick a little needle in there and get some of the fluid out. You'll find out in like 20 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I would have been on the waterworks then, honey. That would have been it for me. Okay. So they do the biopsy. Then Erica comes back in there and joins her, and the doctor comes in there and is like, okay, I want to talk to her, you know, and Erica's like, I'm right outside. And turns out that it was a benign cyst. Okay. So definitely important to get your boobs checked. I know some people have lumpy boobs, some people have dense boobs, some people have super big boobs, little tiny boobs. It don't even really matter what your boobs are like. You have got to get that mammogram done. The earlier, the better. If there is an issue there, but even if it's not for checking when something is wrong, you've got to go even when you feel like everything is okay. Okay, you just got to get it done. That breast cancer, it ain't no joke. Okay, so she's relieved that she's okay, and put a lot of things in perspective. She can't even worry about Joe or Jonathan at this point. Okay, but yeah, y'all get y'all breasts checked out there. Now we see Chrissy. She's walking down the street as usual. Does she have a car? Anyway, She's going to go meet up with Olivia. I said, not a blast from the past. Bona really did pull out all the chops on this one, didn't she? And Olivia looks good. I've always thought that she was pretty. What did they used to say? She looked like Tahirah. She looks good. Feels good to be back in New York, you know. She's back to her music. I said, uh-oh. Girl. You know, her and Chrissy were back in the day. They were pretty good friends. You know, they show clips of when they was Ace Boon Coons hanging out, you know, early Love and Hip Hop days. And then they kind of have lost touch with each other. So Olivia's back in New York, and she's hoping that her and Chrissy can pick up where they left off. Okay, well, Chrissy sees it a little differently. You guys know Chrissy seems to hold on to grudges. I'm finding out about her. Okay, this one seemed like it was kind of hard for her to get past. She said that she was pissed at Olivia because Olivia just left, didn't say anything, didn't talk to her anymore. Also, she had a problem with the fact that Chrissy was blamed, or I guess Olivia took Yandy's side and all of that shit that was going on with Yandy and Chrissy. And oh no, you cannot go against Chrissy, okay? The loyalty has to be there. So she had a problem with that. She seemed like she still had a problem with it, but she was just like, Mona done gave me this check, bitch, and I'm gonna act like I'm your friend. So, okay. She says that she's not on that anymore. She's full of peace now. So, this is what we doing today. Anyway, enough about the past. Olivia, girl, what you been up to? She says, well, you know, I've been working on my music. I said, uh-oh. But it's been really difficult because her mom passed last year, and when moms pass, life gets thrown completely off. So she hasn't really been able to get to it, but you know, she's trying to get back on track. That's why she's in New York. She also has some shit she needs to take care of when it comes to Old Man Richie D. She casually mentions Fresher, so I said, oh, I guess that was the intro to Old Man Richie D. You know, do you know Fresher? Chrissy was like, no. Like, why would I know him? Oh, you know, well, he did a song with Jim back in the day, or, you know, he had a song with her. Chris is like, I don't know. I've been in fucking Miami. I don't give a fuck about what Jimmy is doing out there with Fresher with a PH. I guess she's thinking about working with him, but she's telling her also about how Old Man Richie D had did her pretty grimy, did her pretty dirty. And Chrissy was like, really? I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, girl. She didn't get any of her money. Yeah, that's right, you guys. When Old Man Richie D was managing her, it seems that she did not get her royalties for the song December. And I guess December did okay. Fuck, $2,000 is better than nothing, shit, when you broke. All right, so I don't know if she was broke, but you know what I mean. Like, I want all of my money. I don't give a fuck if it's $5. If you owe it to me, I would like it, please. I can understand what she's saying. Yeah, evidently that was her best friend. I said, oh yeah, I guess he was. The way he was crying when he was, oh, you know, I'm here for you. You know, I want you to win, or whatever he was doing. You know, early Love and Hip Hop days. So she was pretty hurt about that, but now she's back. She's got a bone to pick with Old Man Richie D. Chrissy says, well, I hope you get that done. You know, I've always loved your voice. I was like, well, what does that mean? That's not saying we love that you can sing. Yeah, I love your voice. You mean I could do a voicemail message for you? You guys, looks like Old Man Richie D is a thief. Now we see Fresher with a PH. She's working with him in the studio, okay? You guys told me last week that you guys thought he was cute, and I'm telling you, I looked at him. I really did get a good look. I was really trying, y'all. Where do you guys see the cute? Like, he looks like, I don't see it. Not even talking about the photons. I'm just looking at his face. Something like, I just don't see it. Maybe I just don't see it, you guys. Help me out with that one. Anyway, she says that she loves working with artists, you know, that just have that spark in them, you know. He reminds her of a young Busta Rhymes, okay? And she's willing to work with him, you know, kind of get him started. And I was just like, girl, now you was hustling backwards. Now you ain't been doing nothing. And then you come back to somebody who ain't doing nothing either. Don't let this nigga talk no good game to you. I was just like, Olivia, girl, really? So anyway, they're in the studio, and Fresher with a PH say that he got to knock this one out the park because Old Man Richie D stole Janoski from him. Well, he didn't really steal her. She went over there because that was going to be best for her career, but I guess he's taking it personally. Okay. So he's invited old man Richie D down there, I guess, to gloat. Look who I got. All right. Now, she had already told him that she had some issue with old man Richie D. Didn't go into detail because that's none of his business. But just so you know, that's why I'm not working with him anymore. Well, when old man Richie D goes down there, you know, he walks in. He looks genuinely surprised, like, oh, well played, Pressure with a PH. Was not expecting Olivia to be in there. Okay, now Olivia is kind of mad that old man Richie D is there because she was not expecting to have this conversation right now, and especially not in front of Fresher with a PH. So she was just like, I don't really want to have this conversation in front of you. Fresher with a PH say he gonna walk on out. Okay, so he skedaddles on out of the room, and you know, at first Richie was like, hey, like, how you been? Well, she ain't been good. She said she had to take a break. That's what she told Fresher with a PH. She had to take a break, you know, for personal reasons. Okay, personal reasons was we didn't want to hear that shit. When old man Richie D tries to be so casual with it, you know, she's pissed. She said, you did some grimy shit to me. She saw the paperwork. She could tell that he had then took the money off the top of December and some other song. And he was like, what are you talking about? What you did was you let Cisco get in your ear and corrupt the whole thing. I said, Cisco? Nigga, not the AAW, the administrator of ass whoopings from the Creep Squad, y'all. What? Is Cisco about to come back? I said, oh, Mona. Bitch, you is doing it this season, ain't you? I can't wait to see that fucking Cisco next week. But anyway, yeah, Cisco must have tainted her mind, even though Cisco wasn't even on the show at the time. But this, I guess, is the way that we can bring Cisco back in. And she says, I saw the paperwork. I know what happened. You took my money. He was like, that song was my song. Looks like we might need to have another class in Contract 101, you guys. For some reason, these artists don't know what they've signed themselves to. And the fact that old man Richie D was able to take off with her money and ain't been no legal ramifications from it, something tells me that he was completely in his right by taking her money, okay, or the money that she thinks is hers. He was like, yeah, you sang on it, but that was my song. She can't seem to understand that. It was awful clear to me, though. The funds went to Dollars Unlimited. For whatever reason, she was not a part of that. Okay, I said, damn, you didn't get none? Well, they sure be doing these artists wrong, but you got to be careful what you sign yourself to, you guys. Especially with Richie D being so sure that he did not steal from her. Something tells me that she ain't really got her foot in this fight, y'all. I don't think she getting nothing out of this one. Now, Yandy, we see her in the car. She's talking to Mendici. She's stressed out, you know, because she's got all these things on her plate. And he was supposed to be done got out of jail a month ago. And he still isn't out. He's being held up as some sort of red tape. Okay? He says, I don't really know what the holdup is. I mean, the only thing I could think about is my paperwork probably is going through that detention center that you got maced at. She was like, not that place, y'all. Then they showed the little clip. They didn't show the clip where she was just like, I should laugh. But girl, it was so chaotic when that mace thing situation happened. And her sister was like, my sister needs water. My sister needs water. I don't know why his paperwork would go through there, because I thought that was just a detention center. I don't know if they just trying to bring more light onto the fact that, you know, she out there fighting a good fight or what. But he thinks that his paperwork is being held up there because of her and her big ass mouth trying to go against the prison, you know, the Bureau of Prisons, I guess. So she was just like, if she finds out that her man is getting punished because of her, you know what, that's going to be their ass. So later on, she meets up with her friend Jamila. Remember, we saw her at the beginning of the season when she was talking about prison reform and, you know, her team that she's a part of. She meets with Jamila, and Jamila is telling her about a situation down in Mississippi. Horrendous jail facilities. It's rodents in the kitchen walking over the food. It's blood on the floors and the walls. It's toilets backed up, no running water. It's people dead, evidently. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on there? People should have their basic human rights when they're in jail. Nobody should be living like a fucking savage when they're in jail. So, you know, the girl Jamila wants to go down there with their team so they can try to do something about it. Yandy has paused because, you know, she's been waiting for her man to come home, you know, and it looks like he's being held up. His paperwork is being held up, and she's not sure if it's because of her, but, you know, she don't want to be a reason why he has to sit around any longer in jail. So she's kind of not sure. But then the other side of her, you know, says that she's got to do what's right. And she knows that her husband, even though he might be pissed at the beginning of it, once he thinks about it, he'll be proud that she's out there trying to help, you know, prisoners. So she thinks maybe she shouldn't go, but you know what? She's going to go on and go. Okay. And Jamila's like, thank you. That's my girl, fearless. Okay. Later on, we see that Jamila couldn't go because she's on probation, and her probation officer was like, no. Okay. So that might be main reason why Jamila wanted Yandy to go so bad. But she goes down there. You see them with the team. They're talking to the people, the prisoners, people that had been in there and I guess had, you know, experience of what was going on. They try to talk to the lieutenant governor. The lieutenant governor is not having Mona and her people up in his damn office. So no, okay, they weren't able to talk to him, but she said that they're going to continue fighting. And that is one thing that's admirable about Yandy. She definitely does take that prison reform and being out there, you know, boots on the ground kind of activism. So good for her. And then lastly, you guys, Remy and Pap, they go see her close friend. She's part of her management team. She says her friend always gives her the real deal Holyfield. I know that always tells her how old I am. But, you know, the friend never pulls any punches. So, you know, she's in this bullshit with Brittany. And it has given her all kind of problems because nobody wants to seem to realize that she's a changed woman. Yes, she was in jail for 8 years or whatever, but she's out. She is a whole mama. She is a whole wife. Okay, she's on a successful TV show. She's working hard. She's trying to do her album. She don't even do that shit that she used to do back in the day. Nobody seems to want to, you know, realize that. So she's got people trolling her, such as this bitch Brittany, on social media, and just kind of trying to drag her back into that life. Now, you guys, love Rem, love Pap, don't like Brittany, so I can understand how this shit can be annoying. However, I feel like I have never gotten the clear story on what happened. This girl Brittany B just out the blue decided to blame Remy for getting hit in the face. I've heard some stories, one that it was not Remy, that it was Remy's daughter, that the girl was trying to blame Remy because she knew that Remy would get put back in jail, you know, if she was convicted of the crime. They never have ever mentioned the daughter. So I guess that might be a legal reason. Like, we not even going to implicate the daughter. The girl said me, so we just going to prove that it wasn't me. So maybe that's what they are doing here, because I'm just like, what exactly happened? You know, they say that it's lies, but we don't get the clear. Pap is saying that they're targets. You know, she cannot afford to get thrown off. Don't shut down, you know, continue to work on your music, because Remy at this point is just so pissed about everything. You know, she already kind of like got a stank, sour attitude most of the time anyway. She really is on 100 right now, but Pap is just like, don't lose focus, continue to work on your music, you know, we gonna get this handled. So Remy is starting to be tired of this whole drama. You know, she just needs to really know what exactly can happen. So her and Pap go and talk to the lawyer. And the lawyer says, well, the prosecutor wants to put this behind you, you know, behind them like you want to put it behind you. Okay, good. So what are we talking here? Now, it's a misdemeanor. So normally a misdemeanor wouldn't be that big of a deal. But, you know, with Remy's past, her jail time that she's done and everything, everybody's concerned. I can understand that. The prosecutor wants her to plead. She was like, I'm not doing that because I did not do anything. Okay, well, you could possibly go to court, lose your case, go to jail. Well, how long would I go to jail? I said, how long? Nigga, 1 day is too fucking long if you ask me. She said, it carries up to a year. I'm sure she wouldn't have gotten that. But that's something to be concerned about. She was like, well, I can do a year. That pap was like, no, the fuck we cannot. That jail stint that she did about did us all in. All right. There's no way with this brand new baby and our family and all this going on that you can do any jail time. We are not doing that. The lawyer said, well, we can just strenuously go against the prosecutor and just be like, no, we are not pleading. You need to drop this case because it's bullshit. And if you don't, then we're going to go to court. So it's like sort of like they are kind of punking the prosecutor into believing that they just really mean this when they really don't want to go to court because it's a chance that it could not work out in her favor. Remy is just like, I don't want parole. I don't want probation. I don't want jail time. I don't want nothing. I didn't do anything. I want this to be thrown out. I want to be taken off of whatever this ankle monitor, the probation, the parole, whatever it is. She don't want no parts of it. Okay, so she's quite frustrated, but when she goes home and she thinks about it, she has her baby, and she realizes that, oh yeah, I was tripping. There's no way I can go to jail. I've got a baby, I'm breastfeeding. That will be so detrimental to her. Okay, not to mention that she's got a family, a husband who doesn't want her to go. She's gonna have to fight this one. So she finally gets some clarity on what she should do. It looks like Remy is going to fight. All right, you guys, that's it. Gotta do Miami. You guys, that show. Before I get off of here, let me thank everybody for that did subscribe to the Patreon yesterday. Roxy Reads Book Club is active, and we'll be having our first live video this weekend. And I am just really happy that like 200, so far a little bit over 200 people have decided to support. So this is such a good thing, and I'm just so happy, you guys. I was just like, oh, look at the people just coming in and subscribing. So good about it. Anyway, you guys, if anybody else is interested, I'll leave the link down in the description box. Okay. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.